Ding-a-lick bum bundle-lip ding dong, bindle-lip bum bundle-lip ding bong, doodle-doo-doo-dong, doodle-doo-doo-dong. Go ahead and plug in my Ethernet cable so we don't have any connection issues. Okay, welcome Elijah. Thanks for being here. Welcome Crimes. Welcome Exit K. The usual good people. Usually stream on Thursdays, Sean. So. I believe last week maybe was an exception. Who knows? Okay, Lucas, the anesthetist. Thank you. Welcome. Bedlegs, Hawk a Fat Loogie. LC Soccer, Christian, Ben Clark 2KY. What's up? What's up? What's up? Okay, let's go ahead and roast some tracks. Exciting news. I finished writing my album, so now it's time for mixing. So maybe if we roast some tracks, get that done, maybe I will show you guys where I'm at with the mixing, maybe give you some mixdown tips. Could be cool, could be not cool. We'll see. You guys can roast my track at the very least. Anyways, first up on the roast plate, we have Dave Z with The Expanse. Let's take a listen. Oh, couldn't find the track. Let's keep going. Annie Son, I already roasted you. Actually, I've already roasted all of these. Hold up. Dave Z, Expanse. Looks like I already roasted this because it was up there. So I'm going to move on to Shub. Well, actually, did I roast this? Let me just double check real quick, guys. Yeah, actually, maybe I didn't roast this. So let's go ahead and take a listen. This might be good. Dave Z with The Expanse. Welcome, Bedlegs. Hi from Wuhan. Hey, from Australia. I hope both Wuhan and Australia are doing good right now. Some bad shit seems to have happened in both those places. Alright. Nice. That was Dave Z with The Expanse. Thank you, Dave Z. Let me give you a nice big old yes. Okay, what is it? So it sounded like some almost lo-fi hip-hop, synthwave type situation. Very chill, instrumental, contemplative track. What's working? A lot of the sounds are really well done. Mix is not bad, although I feel like the sidechain is a bit too heavy, and there's kind of a lot of mid-range in your mix. But that also could just be the SoundCloud compression algorithm. Silly SoundCloud. What's not working? I think the arrangement feels a little bit long. The energy seems to be a little flat in this middle section throughout. Could have used a breakdown in the middle there, maybe a little bit more changes in energy with the drums, because drums dictate the energy more than anything else. Outro, don't think you needed to go back into that main groove at the end there. Probably could have just outroed on this and would have been perfectly fine. A lot of reverb on your mix. I'm not sure if you necessarily need that much either. Yeah, solid track. Good stuff, man. Yeah, I would say, the Ben Clark, actually, that's a very good point. This little bit at the end here with the piano, could have used that somewhat in the middle there to sort of break up the monotony of the track a little bit. Excellent tip, Ben. Noah Bra says that this is some type beat shit. Contortion says she likes the detune, but maybe a little less detune would be more effective. Good point. Diego says he's going to change his name to Under Ballsack. Couldn't agree more, Diego. Let's see. What else? I think the reverb added a bit of mud to the mix, no doubt, for sure. I agree. Outro was really cool, but I would put it in the middle instead. We heard that from Ben as well. So yeah, you guys got some good tips. All right, looks like we're about to go to EDM Anime Paradise with Shub. Can I be your love? Or, never mind, I can be your love. Well, I can doesn't necessarily mean you should, but let's find out, Shub. Oh, fuck, dude. You're about to take me to Tomorrowland, bro. Shit, bro. See you guys at EDC. Shit. Welcome, Robert. First time with the roast. Oh shit, we're about to trap out right now. Weird how quiet that snare is. Okay, Mr. David, yeah, let's drop it. Here we go. Uh-oh. Hey, what the heck? Follow Plexi. Holy shit. Yo, thank you so much for that, man. Really appreciate it. Man, you made my day. Oh, fuck. There goes my internet. much. Can't believe that, man. Very generous contribution. Awesome. Cool. So, excellent work. Thank you, Shub, with I Can Be Your Love. We've heard many things from Shub before. Shub is very much in that big room EDM type situation. So that's very much in line. That's basically very clear what it is. This is some Tomorrowland EDC big room type situation. What's working here, I think a lot of the sound selection is quite good. You know, your melody is catchy in the main sections. It's an appropriate synth sound. The arrangement, you know, works very nicely. It's not too long. Good change in energy throughout. What's not working? I'm sort of not huge on the vocal chop, honestly. Kind of the phrasing of it doesn't sound super natural. I think Smooth pointed this out earlier. The rhythm aspect of it feels a little strange. I mean, the thing is, it's quite hard to sort of sustain the interest and the sort of engagement of the track with just that one vocal phrase. I mean, you do a good job sort of pitching it up and down and sort of, you know, taking little pieces and chopping them up and repeating them. But I think more vocal sort of raw material there could suit you. Okay, let's keep going. Build up, pretty standard, all good. Okay. So there's kind of a strange amount of lower mid-range underneath that lead. See if you guys can pick it out. It sort of sounds like there's like a pitch tom hitting underneath each note. And it creates a lot of mud that doesn't necessarily need to be there in the low end. Oh, thank you so much once again, Paula Piox. Made my day. Okay. Breakdown. Okay, so somebody actually said, let's see here. Vocal chop, Magic Window says vocal chop isn't necessarily, honestly, it's an easily recognizable splice sample in its full form. Yikes. What do you guys feel about using the same vocal chop splice samples as everybody else? Personally, I kind of tend to avoid it for this reason. We have the trap breakdown. I think the kick and the snare are suspiciously quiet in your trap breakdown. I think you can bring those up a lot. You got a sort of the standard fake out build. Melody works once again, but you know, try to minimize the lower mid underneath it. Otherwise, quite solid. Shub, we know what to expect from you. This is sort of on par. It doesn't really sort of blow me away, but you know, solid big room EDM Tomorrowland EDC Molly rolling track. So good on you. Okay, looks like we have somebody new. Falcon Shield with We're Animals feat Mike Luciano Drap 5. Okay, take a listen.
We're animals, we're monsters, unstoppable.
Yikes.
Warmongers gotta get bigger, stronger. They're gonna disrespect us no longer. I'm giving you a show. You good at running, but do you even lift, bro? We're the kings and queens. I'm blotting out the sun.
First time we've gotten rap rock on the stream.
Home run.
Great.
Animal unleashed, an anabolic beast. Your well-being is the least of my priorities. You gravitate to me, I consume your soul. You are dust and I'm a supermassive black hole. Bigger.
They're really entertaining, bro. You even live, bro. That was a great fucking line.
You compare to us, discuss. I'm a Sasquatch, extra large plus plus. The pain I'm bringing down, I'm shattering the ground. Chipping in and maxing out as I bench 1,000 pounds. The animal unleashed, my power has increased. Your well-being is the least of my priorities. You gravitate to me, you're in my control. You are dust
You're
and
so
I'm a
bummed out I
supermassive
live with
black
my
hole.
creatine water jugs. Backlight, you fucking said it.
We're animals, we're monsters, unstoppable, warmongers, gotta get bigger, stronger,
Okay.
gonna disrespect us no longer. Animals, we're monsters,
Okay.
unstoppable, warmongers, gotta get bigger, stronger, gonna disrespect us no longer.
Holy shit, bro. Oh my gosh. Okay, so that was Falcon Shield with We're Animals featuring Mike Luciano, I assume, on the vocals. Okay, what is it? So definitely makes me want to go to my local 24-hour fitness and lift my creatine jugs. One might say that this track has big dick energy. So it feels like early 2010 rap rock inspirational Disney Channel High School Musical face-off. Fortunately, there's a lot of cheese inherent in this genre. But also some humor if you do it right. So for example, kind of reminded me also of System of a Down. Specifically that song, My Cock is Bigger Than Yours. Excuse me, I think My Dick is bigger than yours. Personally, I think this genre is more palatable when it doesn't take itself too seriously. I don't know how seriously Mr. Mike Luciano is taking himself here. Probably depends on how much creatine he had that day. But I guess what's working, I mean, the arrangement is good. I mean, it's not too long. The sounds seem appropriate. What's not working, I mean, it is really fucking cheesy, but that could be what you're going for, my friend. Mix probably could use some work. It's maybe not quite at the, I don't know, a good reference track would be like Sail. You guys remember that song? Damn, this takes me back to like 10 years ago. Yeah, I really don't know what to think of it. Let's see what people in the comments are saying. Jacob Meyer says Linkin Park meets Evanescence 10 years too late. Okay. Smash a beer can on your forehead type beat. Okay. Let me just sort of comb through this again because there were some gems in the lyrics.
We're animals, we're monsters.
Okay.
Unstoppable, warmongers. Gotta get bigger, stronger.
Bigger,
Gonna
stronger.
disrespect us no longer.
Okay. Disrespect us no longer. Okay. Skip ahead here.
Show. Checking out my guns, I'm giving you a show. You good at running, but do you even lift, bro?
Checking out my guns, giving you a show. You could be running, but do you even lift, bro? Holy shit.
We're the kings and queens, I'm blotting out the sun. Knock your head off clean, watch it go, home run.
Wow.
Animal unleashed, an anabolic beast. Your well-being
That
is the
screamo
least of
is
my
pretty fucking dope.
priorities. You gravitate to me, I consume your soul. You are dust and I'm a supermassive black hole. Bigger, bigger, bigger.
Wow. Him just saying bigger over and over again, screamo style, that's pretty fucking threatening. I'm feeling very beta right now. Okay.
You compare to us, nothing to discuss. I'm a Sasquatch, extra large plus plus.
I'm a Sasquatch, extra large plus plus. Okay, fuck man. Oh, jeez. All right, well, I'm going to give you a big old yes. Let's see what people in the comments are saying. Lyrics are pretty cheesy, yeah. Oh my god. Tribal tattoo and MMA shirt energy. Holy shit. You're fucking right. Magic window. Hey, Jamie, pull up that beat. Like, oh my god, dude, the fucking Joe Rogan reference. So clutch. Holy shit, bro. Okay, I'm done roasting this. I think I've said my part. Holy shit. Okay, well, all right. So Swillow Pine, we got Ella Kid with Lemmy Slep. Hopefully this will be some very small dick energy. I need to come down nice and easy. Let the creatine subside. Let's take a listen. Okay, I mean, anyways, it seems like it's pretty much the same thing in the second half. Okay, cool. Solid work. What is it? Sort of inspirational, big synthy, kind of hip hoppy track. Kind of somewhat of a lo-fi edge, but really it's sort of all about that big, synth epic chord situation. What's working? I think the sounds are great. Chord progression is simple, familiar, but really effective. Mix is pretty solid. What's not working? It's unclear to me what the function of this track should be. It doesn't really change enough or do enough to sort of hold my attention on its own, especially if the second half is exactly the same as the first. I think there's plenty of room for a vocalist on this, or it could be sort of a remix, or it could even be like an instrumental, but maybe just cutting it by half the current length. So it's just a little unclear to me as to the function of the track. I think the sound for the melody is good, but it's not entirely in key. Yeah, the da 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 da, that's not quite in the key of the song. But generally speaking, I think you need to be a little bit more clear or realistic about what the function of this should be. If it's meant to be an instrumental just for chilling, maybe make it 2 minutes. If it's meant to be sort of a backing track for a vocalist, add a vocalist. It's just sort of in that awkward middle ground of just not sure exactly what the function of this can be. That being said, compositionally solid, great super saw leads, and maybe a little bit too much sidechain, but I'll leave that to the peanut gallery. Give you a big ol' yes, Ella Kid. Anyways, let's see here. Really cool sounds, but the flutes are out of tune. The volume effect on the synth is overused. Yeah, I kind of agree there. An aesthetist. Definitely out of tune. Not sure about how I feel about some of the sound selection. Synth is cool, but IDK about some of the perks in the drums. The drums are cool. I think one thing that you can do is sort of use a bigger snare in those chorus sections instead of just the rim. Could be a good way of differentiating the two different sections of the song. Sidechain a little bit too heavy, yeah, probably I agree. What's the best word cipher Ableton? Yeah, word. Cool. Anyways, let's keep going. We have swag with prehensile. Let's take a listen. Time to have a nice sleep. Let the creatine subside. So how's your guys' day been so far? Pretty hands-on. What is a Pirate Bay? I am Russian. Nice. Oh. Got some drums going. Okay. Something. Hey, Luke, forehead buddies. Touch our foreheads together. Or measure them. Big forehead energy, bro. Thanks, Wave Entry. Cool. All right, so we got prehensile with Svog. What is it? Sort of an ambient, dreamy soundscape until you bring those drums in. Then it sort of starts to get into like a almost taiko, like Boards of Canada, chill, soft, small dick energy banger. What's working? I think the sound selection is solid. It's obviously very pretty. Great use of ambience, soundscape. Be good stuff, very cinematic, super appropriate, probably very syncable. In terms of what's not working or could be working better, I expected, because I've heard many of your previous songs, Fog, that it would just be an ambient thing throughout. But then you drop, first off, these very kind of lo-fi drums here, sort of without any warning. And then all of a sudden you drop this whole shebang where the drums get much bigger, and there's sort of no indication to the listener that any of that is going to happen. So it's a little unclear of what this track wants to be. It seems like it sort of changed its mind on what it wants to be halfway through. If you're going to have that drum section, sort of raise the energy, give, sort of indicate to the listener earlier on that, hey, this is about to go somewhere else. Because otherwise, people are probably not going to stick around. They're going to assume that this is like another ambient track, like I did, and skip over. But if you sort of grab people's attention and sort of indicate to them that, hey, we're about to go somewhere pretty high energy in this track, I think it could be a lot more effective. The drums, when they do come in, also feel very quiet. There's a lot of reverb on them, so they feel more distant than they need to be. So I think really making that moment as impactful as possible, and also maybe making it happen a lot earlier, could make your track more effective and engaging throughout. But you probably already knew that, Slog. You're a very talented man, so I'll give you a big ol' yes. But let's see what the other people in the chat are saying. Noah likes the drum build, not too long, which is nice. Could have easily been longer, but added more sounds. Drums. DJ Shadow vibes on the breakbeat in the background for sure. Imagine not skipping over ambient music though. Can't imagine it. DJ Shadow is what actually got me into producing, so y'all can thank him. Let's see here. Beginning seems bland on its own, although those second drums are awesome. Yeah, so I would agree. I think you could do more in the beginning to sort of engage us throughout. Yeah, maybe some sort of breakdown, kind of a MIDI build-up section, perhaps, could take us there. Yeah, let's hear it. Oh, shit. About to bring the funk. Still waiting. Oh, we got some honky tonk disco. Duke Ellington in the club. Kind of out of tune, huh? Getting blue balls right now. I don't think I'm gonna get to be coming anytime soon with this track. Cool samples though. Audio editing. Alright, I think it's not going to do anything different here. Okay. Cool. So that was ACAL with All My Life. What is it? French house. What's working? I think the sample and the sort of overall groove is working. What's not working? The whole mix feels too small. I was picturing, that kind of you tease us with this sort of low pass section at the beginning, and I think, okay, we're about to get a huge fucking explosion of stereo imagery and full frequency power. But then once you drop it here, the sample is just as filtered. I mean, you've added some more drum elements there, but it doesn't quite ever get to that sort of big, ecstatic disco vibe that I sort of expect from French house. I'm talking producers like Fred Falk, Daft Punk, Darius. See if you guys can name anybody else. Fred Falk is the kind of the guy that sort of comes to mind the most. So I think you could really study him and his mixdowns and sort of the way he makes his music, because I think that's the sound you're going for. But in terms of the execution, we're not quite there. We have this sort of breakdown. Piano's really nice. Yeah. That vocal chop is a little out of tune, but it sort of, as Magic Window put it earlier, kind of shows us how wide and big you can have the track be. Yeah, I think you just need to sort of OTT the shit out of this maybe, or just open up all these filters and really let the track breathe. Your drums are also pretty quiet in the mix. I think you could really bump up your kick and your snare as well. Yeah, that's just sort of my 2 cents here. Alan Brax for sure is another great one. Daft Punk, Duke Dumont for sure. Young Bay. Need a rapper on that beat. So repetitive. Need shred guitar solo there, maybe. Nothing is really front and center. Whole thing feels a little limp. Claps need some more beat, for example, in my humble opinion. Yeah, I agree. Feels like the whole track has a low pass over it. When that sample came in, it was like it opened up. I would have loved to hear some snappy mids and highs after that. I agree. So that's, I perfectly agree with that sentiment. But ACAL, otherwise, I think you have a solid foundation for what could be a really dope track. Next we have Grumber Lord, yikes, with To Kill a King. Let's hear it.
What a terrible thing. You're the intoxicated or let these sing, enjoying the music and the gifts that we bring to celebrate a day to kill a king. What a terrible sight. Emotionless eyes all arrayed in white. He breathes in, breathing out the lights. What a terrible night to kill a king. Bound to your honor, sworn to a lie. For the crown, would you be a slave? For the law, would you die? Will you kiss the ring? Or will you kill the king? Give in to the voices, even you have choices. To kill the king, to kill the king, to kill the king, to kill the king. What a terrible sin, to be branded as a liar in the face of your own kin, to break tradition, to betray the shin, the punishment, to kill a king. What a terrible boy, playing with his history like it's a toy. He will learn the power of the law.
Yeah, who's the king?
The power of the law.
Oh, here we go.
Bound to your honor, sworn to a lie. For the crown, would you be a slave? For the law, would you die? Will you kiss the ring? Or will you kill the king? Give in to the voices, even you have choices. To kill the king, to kill the king, to kill the king,
Yeah, this track confuses me too, Digiko.
The greater good is knocking at your door. Take the power from the privilege to the poor. You got a personal grudge, let it burn. Some will obey and paint blood while others will learn. Rich boy never knew how to suffer, but he do know how to give it to another. These dark guys will heal the kingdom. These dark lies will kill the king.
Young adult novel, dystopian society, and credit speeds. For sure.
Bound to your honor, sworn to a lie. For the crown, would you be a slave? For the law, would you die? Will you kiss the ring, or will you kill the king? Give in to the voices, even you have choices. To kill the king, to kill the king, to kill the king, to kill the king.
Sick. Okay, so that was Trent Eliason with To Kill a King. What is it? Feels like some sort of kind of pop, quiet, minimal, almost like Billie Eilish type production with really quiet, sort of whispery vocals. Very laid back, minimal instrumental. So kind of pop, I would say, but definitely on the darker, chiller side. What's working? I think the songwriting, sort of the lyrics, I think were solid. I think your vocal delivery is quite solid. I like the vocoding effect that you have in terms of the arrangement. I think the arrangement works well as well. Yeah, I think all that is pretty solid. I think the main thing that's not working is that the whole thing feels very quiet. Everything feels sort of far away, not really that impactful, not too much bass or low end. Your drums are very, very minimal and also quite far back. I think something that Lemon said was the track sort of feels like it wants a sort of big chorus or moment to really drive home the vocals and the story that you're trying to tell, but we never really quite get that. I mean, the closest thing we get there is probably starting to sort of hint at it with that sort of piano in the background. But I'm thinking like lush strings, really big drums. You can all, like, I'm talking like some Lumineers type situation where you're not going like double time as you are on the drums now, but maybe even half time to kind of create that heaviness. Really big bass, really big chords. I think the track could use big, at least at some point, because the whole thing feels very small and quiet. But that's just my 2 cents. Let's see what the people in the chat are saying. Interesting track for sure. Honestly, Postal Service reference tracks. Dentel's production is minimal, but it pops. Yeah, so what we're looking for is we're looking for minimalism, but still having impact. Vocals are cool. The performance in certain sections could have maybe had more energy. Yep, for sure. Chorus could have been more powerful. I agree. Like the vocals, good melody. Medieval Postal Service. Yeah, certainly. Yeah, I certainly get that vibe. If you want some scary medieval kind of style vocal trend, I would highly recommend Extra Life. It's probably the scariest music I've ever heard. I can't really listen to it. It's just too disturbing. But my best friend, Tyler Aaron, really loves it. Anyways, let's keep going. It's an interesting track for sure. Definitely one of the most unique ones I've heard on the stream. So give you a big old yes. Let's keep going. Oh, fuck. It's got some indie dick energy.
It doesn't take a genius to see that I just can't be redeemed. There ain't a church or therapy that could make me feel clean.
Gotta change up those drums, bro.
But I didn't see anything. You know what they say. If once then always. If once then always. If once then always.
Oh, come on, bro.
I just wanted to be someone better than me. God knows I'm trying, but every time that I do, look in the mirror at my costume, anybody would say I'm no better from yesterday. I just wanted to show it's possible to grow, prove myself wrong. I know better now, and so do they. Put myself down into the grave they dug for me.
Being bass is pretty funky. Yeah, this song is long, motherfucker. Alright. Cool. So we got Costume by Tsunami. 5, 6, 9, 7. What is it? So it feels like some indie rock. In the style of, let's see, what do people say? I got a Tori Moi vibe out of it. I'm sure you guys probably reminded you of certain different bands. But that's sort of the main focal, kind of reference point that I have. Don't really listen to this kind of music that much. What's working? I mean, I think the bass line is super funky. I think the initial groove that you have there going was quite solid as well. I wasn't really paying attention to the lyrics too much, so they didn't bother me. But in terms of what's not working, I think the mix is very strange. It's a lot of sidechain compression and pumping. Everything feels very, very overcompressed. The drums are very repetitive, like the ride kind of goes throughout the whole thing and gets quite annoying after a while. You have the bass. The bass is very funky, but it doesn't quite seem to sit in the mix with everything else because it's so mono compared to everything else, I think. You have this sort of double kick effect that you could probably just remove. So just do single kicks only. Vocals feel a little bit mismatched. I think you could use a little bit more distortion and grit to them. You also have these backup harmony vocals that feel a little pitchy or out of tune. Also feel mixed slightly differently than your main vocals, so we're getting a little bit of disconnect there. And overall, I think the song is just too long. I think you could make it a sweet 3-minute banger, and I would be pretty happy with that. Even keep the guitar solo if you wanted to. Maybe also have a breakdown somewhere in the middle, because the energy never really goes down that much. It's pretty static because, like I said before, the drums are very sort of samey throughout. But I think, I was really grooving along with it at the beginning. Yeah, I really like the groove that you open with, and I think you could sort of milk that, but maybe not for this long. See what other people are saying. Could be trimmed to 4 minutes, said Lemon. Trim the ending, said Richard. Lyrics aren't strong enough, said Bridger. Okay. Holy Echo on the kick drum, Batman. Yep, Packlight, I agree. Kick is weird. Ride is killing me. It's all in the mix. Wish the drums were hitting harder, but it's a great song for sure. Yeah. Anyways, I think pretty clear on that one. I'm gonna give you a big old yes. Here we have Weird Al Yankovic by Yoda. Excellent South Park FL Studio cover art. Let's take a listen here. Oh, looks like I'm getting some lo-fi here. Similar to the previous one. Bass for sure. Agree the drums could be pushed up. The snare could have a little bit more smack. Funky though. Flew kind of far away, yeah. That clavinet, bro. Sick. Okay, that was Weird Al Yankovic with Yoda, or Yoda with Weird Al Yankovic. What is it? Feels like some sort of funky, lo-fi, disco-y, kind of old school, vaguely sort of funky vibe. Bringing the funk with these last two tracks, fellas. Funky bass line, you know, good, you know, sort of Nile Rodgers style guitar chords. You know, I was grooving for sure, very groovy. A couple things that I think could be working better. The mix for the vocals seems very strange for the track. I mean, they're very quiet, very far back. Sort of doesn't quite exactly fit my impression of what the song is trying to go for. Drums could use a little bit more oomph, for sure. Stronger kick, maybe a fatter snare as well. Let's see what else here. I like the synth. Might be a few too many melodic synth elements here. Just seems a little cluttered in this area. I think you could up the volume of the vocals. Cool. You can definitely write songs. Yeah, I don't really have much more to say on this. I think mostly it's lying in the mix. I think the songwriting and sort of the structure works well. I think some of the stuff clashes for sure. There's a little bit too much detune on the synths, but I think you can clean that up, hopefully. Anyways, cool. Yeah, I think I'm pretty much done with the roasting of people's tracks. I said that I would show you guys a mixdown that I'm working on, so let's go ahead and hear that for a sec. You guys can tell me what you think, but probably need to change some things while it's playing, so yeah. I'm going to change the output. This is going to be a song off my upcoming album. It's going to be released probably in April sometime, but yeah, this is not the final title. Let's take a listen. So definitely some tweaks need to be made there, but overall, I think it's getting there. Should probably finish that today and maybe start another mix later today. Total, I have, this is the 5th mix, and I got 4 more to go, so it's going to be a 9-track project. So yeah, and here's some reference tracks that I'll probably use for later. But yeah, guys, thanks so much for listening. Thanks so much for participating on the roasting. Really appreciate you guys for coming through. With regards to my music, I'm going to be releasing a single along with the video on the 22nd and 23rd of March. So get stoked for that. Yeah, very excited to start sharing music with you guys again. It's been quite some time. But yeah, thanks so much for being here. Hope you guys have a lovely day. Thanks to everybody who participated and submitted their tracks. Once again, if you'd like to get roasted, you can always do so by being an active member of the Discord community, roasting other people's tracks, and then who knows, you might end up on the roast zone on the stream. So peace out, y'all. Have a good day. Thanks for listening. And yeah, I'm going.